This is part 2 of how to make a story sphere, which looks at the story sphere template or test card in this example. So what we have is a card which I've made, which is 4,000 pixels wide and constitutes 20 squares. And going down the page, we've also got 10 squares. And if you pay particular attention here to the part which is about 4 by 7. So in other words, it's 1, 2, 3, it's 4 high. So in a moment, I'm going to show you what that looks like in practice. And the part I want you to remember is this middle ground. Notice also that we have got a couple of things on the right and on the left. One of them, in other words, is when you open the photosphere up, it will look from the middle and you can rotate and look behind you either way 180 degrees, and that's where these markers are. Okay, so very short video here. So what we can do is get started immediately. There is the card look, proportioned at the top squares, at the bottom squares, everywhere, lots and lots of squares. So when we go over and we say to ourselves, here is the one that I made earlier, and it is the story sphere called the test card. If we view it, and loads pretty quickly, remember going back, there's 5 and 6 in the middle with our 4 squares. Popping back, there they are. So we can see immediately I've added some more audio on here. That this video isn't about the audio, you can do that yourself. What it is about, watch, is if I go round to the right hand side, we've got quite well-formed squares, and that's we're looking completely behind ourselves. Now, if I go back to the middle, and what I want you to look at is if we start to look up, look at this circle. It's a circle. It's quite well-formed. Perspective-wise, number 4 is thinner, number 3 is definitely thinner, number 2 is thinner, and number 1's we can hardly see. So what I'm getting at is that the next story sphere that I'm going to create will be some quotations, and it will be from, say, some famous people. So if I'm going to put some images in the middle, just to repeat back on here again, if I'm going to do them on the middle part, which I said was more or less 4, 5, 6 and 7, I want to really ignore the part which looks at 1, 2, 3 and 8, 9 and 10. So for an example, just to finish this off right now, can I get away with, remember there's no zoom to zoom out at this stage, so 5 and 6, there's 4, 5, so I could probably get one there, probably get one there. If I go a little bit lower, look, 8 and certainly 9 and 10 is unusable. So make some use of that and let me know what you think, and we'll move on to some more in part 3.